This story tells of an ordinary man named Alexander, who returned home after a hard day at work. He thought that the evening would bring peace and warmth of the family hearth. However, fate prepared a real shock for him. Today, we will plunge into a dramatic story that will make you think about loyalty, secrets, and the unpredictability of life. Alexander was returning from the office, walking thoughtfully along the quiet city streets. His thoughts were occupied with plans for the future and small dreams of a warm evening at home. Already at the entrance, he felt something strange. The corridor was unusually quiet, and the light from the kitchen poured under the door, creating an atmosphere that seemed so familiar, but at the same time, unexpected. Alexander suddenly heard voices coming from the living room. He walked closer, unable to believe what he was hearing. Through the open door, he saw his wife Marina sitting on the couch, deep in conversation with a stranger, a plumber who had just arrived on call. At first, he couldn't believe his eyes. His heart was beating wildly, and his mind couldn't comprehend the situation. Every second seemed like an eternity. Alexander, initially overcome by indescribable shock, began to feel a sharp sense of betrayal. Tears welled up in his eyes, and his hands trembled with confusion. At that moment, all memories of warm embraces and cozy evenings faded away. Everything took on a bitter tinge of betrayal. Marina, noticing his presence, instantly stopped her conversation. The words got stuck in her throat, and the plumber, realizing the seriousness of the situation, tried to justify his appearance, but an indescribable silent condemnation prevailed. After the initial shock, Alexander mustered all his strength to start a conversation. He asked how this had happened, why now, and whether this meant the end of their relationship. Marina, overcome with regret and fear, began to explain. She felt lonely, and the plumber became for her a symbol of a new, unexpected life that promised an escape from the usual everyday duties. Her voice trembled, and her gaze testified to an internal struggle. The plumber, although he had his own explanatory manifesto, was for Alexander a simple reminder of the infidelity that had struck him to the core. Alexander felt every cell of his body filled with pain and betrayal. He wondered, could such a double betrayal be forgiven? Could the broken trust be restored? At that moment, a real drama flared up between all three of them. The conversation turned into an emotional dialogue, where every word was as heavy as a stone, and every pause was like a deep abyss. After a few minutes of heated discussions, when emotions began to cool down, Alexander realized that his life would no longer be the same as before. He made a decision that was difficult to announce, but which became the only way out of this situation. With a heavy heart, he left home without looking back. He knew that difficulties awaited him ahead, but he also understood that from each break, a new force is born for change and rethinking life. This story leaves us with many questions. Can betrayal be forgiven? Is it worth fighting for a relationship when the foundation of trust has been broken? And, most importantly, are we able to find the strength within ourselves to move on, even when it seems that all is lost? Alexander, although he experienced incredible pain, made a choice that gave him the opportunity to reconsider his life. He began to look for answers in new hobbies, in communication with friends, and in his own inner search. This story doesn't have a single answer to all of life's questions, but it shows that even in the darkest moments, there is a path to renewal and self-discovery. Sometimes life throws us challenges that make it seem like everything will fall apart. But from every pain comes an opportunity to become stronger. If this story has stirred your emotions or made you think, Subscribe to our channel, like and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember that each of us has our own story, and sometimes it's important to just share it to feel that we are not alone in our experiences. Thank you for watching this story. Stay tuned for more stories that explore new facets of human emotions and relationships. See you soon!